topic is the universality of Islam, and our lecturer, guest speaker, is Imam Alaeddin el-Bakri. Universality of Islam is an important issue because, especially among non-Muslims, many people think that Islam is not the universal religion but rather a Middle Eastern religion. Even narrower than that, many people think that Islam is an Arabic religion, or majority of the Muslims are Arabic religion. And whether or not this is true, we will hear more details from Dr. Alaeddin. As Dr. Shahid Al-Hadi mentioned yesterday, actually the Arab population among the Muslim population is around 15 to 20%, so it is not a fact, but rather it is a misconception. Anyway, Brother Alaeddin was born in Africa, India, and he has a high school degree from Jordan. He got his bachelor's degree in Islamic Sharia, and he has a master's degree in comparative religion. He worked and studied in Saudi Arabia for 6 years, 3 years in Riyadh, 3 years in Jeddah, and he worked there as an inviting of non-Muslims to Islam, and he is a traveler around the world in dawah activities. Right now, currently, he is the Imam and the director of the Northwest Indiana Islamic Center.
نعم. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم من همزه ونفخه ونفثه. بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء وهو السميع العليم. اللهم يا مفتح الأبواب ويا مسبب الأسباب ويا دليل الحائرين، توكلت عليك يا رب العالمين وأفوض أمري إلى الله إن الله بصير بالعباد. قال رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. أما بعد, in the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, all praise is due to Allah, the creator and the sustainer of the world. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his last prophet and messenger. He conveyed the message, he guided us to the truth, he showed us the straight path that will lead us to success in this life and in the hereafter. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward our prophets as the best what he could reward a prophet about his nation. My dear brothers and sisters, first of all, thank you and thank the MSA to invite me tonight to speak to you and to share my humble knowledge and experience with you about a very essential, important, and at the same time crucial topic. That is the topic of the universality of Islam. And before I start speaking about the universality of Islam and about the subject, let me just elaborate more on the title. Because if we understand the title of the topic, we could understand the topic itself. We are saying here the universality of Islam. And I want you to notice the word universality. We could use another word to say the internationality of Islam. But we didn't use that, we used the word universality. If you take the LTI, LTY, it will be a universal. So are we speaking now about the universality of Islam only on this earth, since we are using the word universe? We didn't use the word world or national or international. We are using the word universe. And when we say the word universe, it's a wide word that includes the heavens, the earth, the stars, the seas, the oceans, the birds, the animals. Everything in this universe belongs to the world, to the word universe. So when we say universality, are we going to speak about the internationality of Islam in this world, that Islam is an international religion, it is not a national religion for Arabs and in the Middle East? Is it an international religion? Or we're going to speak about Islam and what Islam established the relation between us human beings and the whole universe. So we will be a universal people, and Islam will make us a universal nation. This is the word universality. We are going to learn about how Islam established the relation between the human being and the whole universe, not only with the other human beings. And the second word is Islam, the universality of Islam. When we hear the word Islam or the religion of Islam, the idea that comes to our mind immediately, Muslims or non-Muslims, unfortunately, that this word Islam is a name given to this religion, is a name, a word given to this certain religion. And Islam as a word is given to a religion. So we say the religion of Islam. You see, when we come to translate the terminology from Arabic to English, when it regards Islam, we miss a lot of meanings. And we think that we are translating it correctly, and we are doing a big mistake. Well, let me announce for you today, my brothers and sisters, that the word Islam is not a name, and Islam is not a religion. How about that? I know the brothers here, they say, what's going on? We invited this Imam all the way from the north to the south, and what we end up with no name and no religion. But let me explain this. If you want to compare the word Islam like the words and the names given to other religions, like for example Hinduism, like for example Buddhism, or even Christianity, if you want to compare the word Islam with these words, it doesn't work. Why? Because let us take an example as Buddhism. Buddhism, this word, which regards about the religion of Buddhists, it's taken from the word of the founder Buddha. And whether the word Buddha has a meaning or it doesn't have a meaning, whether it has a meaning or not, it does not reflect on the religion because it's a name of a person. And if you read the story of Buddha, you come to know that Buddha, when he was growing, he was a son of a king, and he was expected either to be saint or a king, and his father was trying his best to make him as a king, not as a saint. Then later on, when he got out of the palace, he became a saint, and he had followers, and originally he was from the descendant of Brahmins among the Hindus. So his name has nothing to do with the religion. And I'm not insulting Buddhism or Buddhism by that, but I'm saying a piece of fact. When it comes to Hinduism, where the word Hinduism came from? It came from the river Indo in India, and that's where we got the name India from. It's the Indo River. The people who used to live around the Indo River, they called them Indos. And because of the differences of the language, it's either you use I or you use H. So it's either Indo or Hindu, or you said Indians or you said Hindians, or you say Hinduism or you say Hinduism, because of the difference in the languages, and both of them are correct. So now, what has, even the word Indo has a meaning or it doesn't? It is a name for a river, and it doesn't have any reflect on the religion itself. The religion is there's multiplicity of gods, and whether God is in everything, so anything that you could worship could be God. Even yourself, you could discover your God in yourself. So this is the word Hinduism. Christianity is taken from the word Christ, and Christ is taken from the Greek word Christos, the one who's crucified. So Christ is the one who's crucified because of the word was long Christos, then they made it Christ, and from there we got Christianity. Whether that has a meaning, it does not have any reflection of the religion. But in the word of Islam, it's totally a different story. The word Islam in the Arabic language, it means what? It has a lingual meaning. Forget the religion now. We are not talking about the religion. We're talking about the lingual meaning. It means peace. You could use it. Peace, like as-salam fi al-sharq al-awsat, the peace in the Middle East. Or you could use it as surrender. You could say the soldier surrendered himself to the enemies. أسلم الجندي نفسه للأعداء. So the word Islam has a lingual meaning. It means peace, or it means surrender and submission. When it's used as a religious term, it combines the two meanings, and it becomes to achieve peace through submission to God. To achieve peace through submission to Allah. That is what Islam. So instead of saying a long sentence, What is your religion? My religion is to achieve peace through submission to God. Instead of saying a long sentence, you summarize it in one word and you call it Islam. Now this word Islam, we did not choose it ourselves. We did not pick the name ourselves and we like it and we say the name of our religion is Islam and we are Muslims. It didn't happen this way. The name is given to us by God, by Allah in the Quran. اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم وأتممت عليكم نعمتي وَرَضِيتُ لَكُمْ الْإِسْلَامَ دِينًا. Today I have perfected the religion for you, completed my favor unto you, and I choose Islam, and I agree that Islam, and I grant you Islam as your religion. وَرَضِيتُ لَكُمْ الْإِسْلَامَ دِينًا. So this is the word Islam, and when the word Islam has a big shade on the religion itself. Now, religion. Islam is not a religion. What it is? Islam is a Deen. And if you want to translate the word Deen to religion, it doesn't work. Why? Because the word religion is derived from relation, religions. That's the root of the word. You can discover that in the dictionary, and the dictionary will tell you. So the word religion is taken from the word relation. And when you mention the word religion to any one of these people who lives in the 21st century, they will answer you, what do you mean by a religion? They will answer you, it is a relation between man and God, between the human being and God, between the person and God. But in Islam, it's not that way. Islam is a Deen. What is the Deen? The word Deen in Arabic is taken from the word daydan. What is the word daydan? Daydan, it means a repeated habit. For example, you wake up every day, 5 o'clock. You make wudu, you make salah. Then maybe you come back to sleep, or you drink a cup of coffee, you take a shower. You go to the work, you come back from the work. Stay at home, then you go to the university, or vice versa, and you repeat that every day. You wake up at the same time, you go to the university in the same time, you go to the job in the same time, and then in the evening you go to bed in the same time. And you repeat that every day. That's called daydan. From the word daydan in Arabic, we got the word deen. Deen, it means a settled system. It is a repeated habit. That's why Islam is a settled system, and it is a repeated habit. It is not a religion. Islam comes to establish three relations. If religion means a relation between the human being and God, Islam comes to establish three relations. And memorize that, because these are the basics of Islam. Number one, the relation between the human being and God. Why? The first thing that you need to discover as a human being is to discover who is your creator. What do you think about a person who is born and he never got the chance to be exposed to his parents? He never experienced the love of his parents. What do you call that person? A person who was born and he didn't see his parents. He didn't experience their love. He was born and he was out. What do you call that in English? Orphan, right? The first right for the child is to get the love and the care of his parents. First the mother, then the father will shape his personality. But when the person reaches to a certain age, he must discover the most important fact. Not the mother, not the father. He must discover who is the creator. The mother and the father got together and they bear you as a child, but who created the mother and the father? Who created the first human being? It is the first right that we have to give to the human beings, is to let them know who is their creator. If we talk about human being rights, if we wanted to open the subject, and now the subject is widely open in today's world, the human being rights, the human rights, and you find organizations talking about the human rights, and they go and discuss different topics, and they forget the most important topic, the first, the human rights, that the human must get is to know who is his Lord, who is his Creator, who is his God. So, the first relation that Islam wants you to establish is the relation between you and God. Islam wants you to know your God. You see, an orphan person is not a normal person, especially if he didn't get the love and care of another stuck parent. And a person who doesn't know his God is not a normal person. He will get confused. Is a confused person. Why? Because he doesn't know his father, his creator. And he never experienced the love of his creator, the love of his God. And that's not a normal person. first right is to know and to establish a relation with God. And that's described in Islam. 5 pillars of Islam. Shahada, Salah, Siyam, Zakah, Hajj. The declaration of faith, prayers, charity, fasting, and pilgrimage. These are the 5 things. These things establish your relation with God. And the other 6 things that you believe. We believe in God, His angels, His messengers, His books, the day of judgment, and the destiny, the final destination or the divine destination. These are the things that establish your relation with God. The second relation that you need to establish, and Islam comes to establish, is the relation between you and yourself. Most of the people, unfortunately, nowadays, they don't know how to treat themselves, rather to know how to treat the others. You see, Islam is a repeated system coming back to the term. Islam wakes up with you in the morning. You wake up with Islam, you live your day with Islam, and you sleep with Islam. When you wake up, the first thing is the memorization of Allah. Alhamdulillah alladhi ahyana ba'da idh amatana wa ilayhi an-nushur. You go and make wudu. You go and make prayers of the early morning, al-fajr. Then you go. Islam is with you. Once you leave your house, you say the zikr. Bismillah tawakkaltu ala Allah. Wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. You go to the university. Islam is with you. Never you leave Islam in the mosque and you go outside. We don't have that concept. So Islam comes to establish the relation. The Prophet teaches us how to eat, the best way of eating, the best way of drinking, the best way of sleeping. And didn't the Prophet teach us how to go to the restroom? Yes, he taught us that. Because Islam there is a big relation between you and yourself. If you don't know how to treat yourself, you're messed up. We have desires. It's either we will control ourselves and control our desires, or our desires will control us. Don't you see some people, they get fond of sleeping and they sleep a lot, and sleeping controls their life. People, they love to eat and they eat a lot, and eating controls them. They don't control how much they will eat. The food controls them. Don't you see some people, they love the money and they don't control the money. The money controls their life. Don't you see some people, they get into different desires and lusts and they get lost there. They are not in charge of themselves. No, their desires is in charge of them. Your own desire could be your God for you. As one time I was driving from the taxi in Malaysia, and I asked the driver, what is your religion? He said, I don't have. I said, who's your God? Do you know what he did? He picked up $1 and he said, this is my God. I told him, stop the taxi and drop me down. I'm afraid that the curse of God will come to this car and I will be cursed with you. Just leave me alone. He was not a Muslim, though Malaysia is full of nice Muslims, by the way. I'm not making bad propaganda about Malaysia. I know there are some Malaysians, brothers and sisters. It's one of the most beautiful countries that I've ever visited. If I want to leave this country and to go to live and settle in another country, I will go to Malaysia, number 1 choice. So, people could worship other things. When you miss worshiping one God, everything will be God for you. That's the idea. So the second relation is to establish a relation with yourself. See? The third relation is the relation between you and the others. What do we mean by the others? I don't mean human beings. I mean the others. What is the others? Others could be plants. Others could be animals. Others could be anything that is around you and not you. Other could be this table. Other could be this walls, this building. Other could be the water. Anything other than you does not teach you how to treat that. Don't you see that the Prophet said that even if you are making ghusl or wudu on a river, don't waste the water. Can you waste the water on a river? You can't. But the concept is the water is a source of land given from God to all human beings. You are not the only one who's going to use the water, so save water for your fellows. You see how to treat the sources of land. How to treat the trees. The Prophet ﷺ said, if you find a tree that has a shade and the people sit under that shade, don't cut that tree, don't bother with that tree. Even the animals, the Prophet said, don't kill the ants, don't kill the bees if they don't hurt you, don't hurt them. The basic teaching of treating anything, you know why? Because anything other than you is also the creation of God. If you don't live in a universe that belongs to another God, and you belong to a different God, this whole universe, including you, belongs to one God. And that is the unity, and that's the universality. If you understand this, you understand the topic. When you ask a Muslim, where does your history start? You don't answer that my history started with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Our history didn't start there. We have a universal history. Our history started with the creation of the first man, of the first human being ever dwelled on earth, was Adam and his wife Eve. There our history starts. You know? And from Adam and Eve, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought the children, the sons and daughters, and then we got all of you, from the same father and from the same mother. There's the history, our start. And when we speak about Adam, we speak with a full manner of respect, because Adam was a prophet. And then after Adam, many prophets, and Nuh was a messenger. And Nuh was a messenger, and after Nuh, Ibrahim, and after Ibrahim, Ishaq, Yaqub, Ismail. There are many prophets. Musa, Isa, Muhammad, alayhim afdal salati wa atam taslim. We believe in all of these prophets. These people were the leaders of their communities. These people were the real heroes. These people, they are the figure that changed the history. These people are really those people, the people who made the history. And people now, when you go and study in the Department of History, they don't even teach you that. They ignore that fact. So the people that you believe in, these prophets and messengers, are really the people who made the history. So when they become your history and these people become your roots and you are proud of them because they are prophets and messengers, this gives you a universal sense, an international sense that your history is deep. Not only them, their teachings also. Suhuf Ibrahim, the scriptures of Ibrahim. Suhuf Ibrahim, Tawrat of Musa, the Torah, the Old Testament, the Tawrat of Musa. And what else? Zabur of whom? Allah gave the Zabur to whom? Dawood alayhi salam. Allah gave the Zabur to Dawood. These were teachings. These were books of guidance. These books were the only books at that time that guided the human beings. Don't forget that. Now we have many books, but at that time there were no books printed. And these teachings were the only true teachings at that time. You believe in that, and from there you get your history. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave the Injil to who? To Isa alayhi salam. Isa alayhi salam, Allah gave him the Injil and the Gospel. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala confirmed all of that and saved the wisdom of all of these books in the last book, which is the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave the Quran to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. We believe in all of these teachings. They say that in this Bible, there is the scriptures of Abraham, there is the Old Testament of Musa, there is the Psalms, which is the Zabur of David, and there is the New Testament, the Gospel, and there are other teachings. We don't now discuss the authority of this book, whether it is right or wrong. This is not our topic. When we don't need even to bother with this book, because all what is in this book, this Bible, is there confirmed in the Quran. All the wisdom that is here, all what you need to know from these 2,000 pages here is found here in this book, and Allah gave it to you, the Quran, as a confirmation. It does not contradict this. Now we don't know what happened to this book. Did it change through history? Who changed it? Why it was changed? All of these questions needs to be discussed in a different topic. But we don't, by the way, the Prophet ﷺ told us not to say about this that it is the truth, and not to say about this that this is falsehood. Because the Prophet said, some of it is the truth, and some of it is false, and you don't know which is which. So instead of getting in that discussion, we say, we believe in what was revealed to the Prophet, the original manuscript, because some of it is right and some of it is wrong. We don't know which is which, so we don't even discuss the authority. We don't say that these are lies or truths. Let me take this book and let me give you an idea. When the Prophet ﷺ said, because some of it is right and some of it is wrong. You know the last book in this, the last chapter in this book is called the Revelation. And in the Revelation, there is in chapter 5 in verse 1 and 2, there is interesting verses. I want one of you just to read. Who's ready to read? Just to read. It's simple English. But you will learn something out of that reading. Chapter 5. You want to read? Go ahead. Highlighted.
And I saw the right hand of him that
No,
sat,
what is the name? What's the title of the chapter?
the unopened book of the Lamb.
The unopened book. there is a book, and this book is unopened. So the chapter is talking about the unopened book. What is that book? Read.
And I saw in the right hand of him that sat on the throne a book written within, and on the backside sealed with 7 seals.
Okay, it's speaking, and I saw on the right hand that's sitting on the side of God, a book. There is a book, and it's sealed with what?
7 seals.
Is it on the front side or on the back side?
Backside.
Okay, continue.
And I saw a strong angel proclaiming with a loud voice,
A strong angel proclaiming in the loud voice, saying what?
Who is worthy to open the book and to loose the seals thereof?
Who's worthy to open the book and to seal and to lose the seal thereof? There's a question that who's going to open the unopened book? And what is the sign of the unopened book? That it has on the back side 7 seals. But you give me back to this book. And we go and search in the world. Give me a book that on the back side of it there are 7 seals. And you want to lose these seals and understand it. And you go to one book, interesting enough, right? And the book, the English is from what? From left to right. You open the book from left to right, right? The Arabic book, you open it from... Does anyone here has a Quran? An Arabic Quran? Jazakumullah khair, give it to me. Okay, this is a little bigger. Okay. Now, I want you to give you this book, and I want you to open it according to the English wise. To the English. Okay, you open it from here, right? He opened it from the left to the right. So that's the front of the book, and that's the back side of the book. Now we will open it from the back side, and we will open and see what is in the back side and see what is in the first chapter in this book. 7 seals are this in this book. Surah Al-Fatiha. What is the name of the surah? The opening of the book. It's saying here, it's talking there about the unopened book, and the sign of the unopened book, that on the back side there's 7 seals. And who's going to open the book and read it and lose it? You open the back side of the book and you find 7 seals and you read. That's what it's presenting to you. The most important thing that we want to read is after we say Alhamdulillah, after we say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, what is the first word? The first verse? Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Ish. Rabbil Alameen. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. And what is the translation of Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen? Who could know the translation of Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen? Like, so that you will not say that I'm saying it on top of my mind. Okay? I want you to read from the beginning. In the name of Allah.
In the name of Allah, the entirely merciful, the especially merciful.
Right.
All praise is due to Allah, Lord of the world.
Lord
Of the world.
of the worlds. There is is. There is is after the word world. It's not one world. It is the world. See, from the very beginning of the Quran, Quran wants you to understand something. That you are not normal. That you are universal, and you have a universal message, and you have a universal book, and you believe in a universal God. And by the way, Allah is not God. How about that? Allah is not God. Allah is Ilah. And you know that you cannot translate the word Ilah to God because you make a big mistake. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could not be translated to God. It's wrong translation. Write this down for 3 reasons. The word God in English is subjected to what? To single and plural. You say God and you say gods. But the word Allah, is it subjected to plural? Could you say, oh, it's only Allah, it's single. You can't say Allahun. You can't say that. It's a single word. And the word God in English is subjected for male and female. You say God and you say goddess, right? The word Allah is not subjected either to male or female, because Allah is not male and Allah is not female. Allah is the creator of the male and female, and He has nothing against males and He has nothing against females, and He brought a religion that is full of mercy to males and females. And number 3, the word God in English, there's a capital G and there's a small g. And do you know that small g could be used for Satan? That the Satan, they call it the God of evil. And it's mentioned in the Bible. And when they write the God of evil, they write it with a small g. They don't write it. in Arabic there is no capital letter and small letter. There is no Allah in capital letter and Allah in small letter. So if we translate the word Allah to God, are we mistaken or not? Yes, we are. So get all of these things in your mind. Because when you translate the Arabic to English, you don't get the right translation. You have to use the right word. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, praise be to Allah, the Lord of the worlds. Why the word worlds? Because it's translated from the word al-alameen. It's not al-alam. Alam means one world. Alameen means many worlds. What is the world? The world of stars, the world of fish in the sea, the world of the bird that flies in the air, the world of the animals, the world of the insects that lives under the soil, the world of human beings, the world of skies, the world of angels, the world of jinn, the world of insan, the world, many worlds. But it's true that we have many worlds, but we don't have many gods. That's why it is, Alhamdulillahi, one God, Al-Wahid Al-Ahad. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. This God is the same God who created all the worlds. See, that is the universality. So when we speak about the universality of Islam, we don't only speak about internationality of Islam. We're not speaking about the globe of Earth. We are speaking the globes of Earth. We are speaking about stars, about the moon, about the skies, about the ins, about the jinn, about the angels, about everything. That's the universality of Islam. What we believe in, brothers and sisters, when we say the word Islam and we believe in Islam, and when we explain that to many words, to the articles of faith, we believe in Allah and His prophets and His messengers and His books, that gives you a wide sense of universality. You don't only believe in the seen world, you believe in the unseen world. That's interesting, isn't it? See, people, to fill that gap, see, they said about you, Muslims, stupid. Muslims, you keep your minds busy in things that does not exist. What? Angels. There is no angels. What? Jinn. There is no jinn. Why? It is unseen. Forget it. I said, that's because it's unseen. It doesn't exist. All right. Do you see the electricity? No, you don't see it. Yet it shocks you. Does it? It didn't. It shocks you, right? But you don't see it. You can feel it. And if you didn't see God for a reason, I've seen God, and I've felt God, and I know that God exists. And that's the difference. People, they see that they want to see only, and they believe in what they see. Yet, themselves, they contradict themselves because they believe in things that they didn't see, like electricity. So what I'm saying, in order to fill that gap, do you know what they did? They went and made a research into space. They want to find aliens. When NASA, that's taking a big money from the tax that me and you, we pay. You know what they're doing? They're only sending ships there and there and there in the space. They want to find aliens. Human beings are not enough for them. They want to find different worlds. Do you see them? No. Did you talk to them? No. Then why do you believe in them? Because there are some signs that maybe aliens exist. And for whatever reason, they never imagined that the aliens are good people. They're always bad. And they're always ugly. Long ears, and one eye, and half mouth, and no nose. Why? Who told you? Maybe they're more beautiful than us. God knows how the aliens imagine us. So they want to fill that gap, and they go and imagine the aliens. I say, don't bother. They said, maybe they will attack us. I said, I swear to God, if we human beings will stop attacking each other, no aliens will come and attack us. Most probably, they are coming to stop the fight in between us. That's what they're coming for. They're seeing big mess here on this earth, and then maybe they are sent to fix that. So, in this Quran, brothers and sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described for us the universe in a very beautiful way. Described that this whole universe is created for you. Now, most of us, we don't see that, we don't feel that, and some of us, we don't believe in that. You see the sun and the stars, you see the moon, you see this whole earth with what it has. We are small human beings comparing to the globe of earth. We're small things comparing to the whole universe. But guess what? I believe in the word of Allah, the Quran, and I have no doubt about it. And in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that I created the whole universe for you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, هو الذي خلق لكم ما في الأرض جميعا ثم استوى إلى السماء فسواهن سبع سماوات وهو بكل شيء عليم. He is the one who created for you all what is on earth is for you. And Allah in another verse, وسخر لكم الشمس والقمر وسخر لكم الليل والنهار وسخر لكم الشمس والقمر دائبين. And Allah subjected for you the what? The day and the night. And Allah subjected to you the sun and the moon. And Allah subjected for you the stars. And Allah subjected for you the earth. The Quran gives you a concept that you are on the top of the creation of God. If there is a hierarchy representing the creation of God, you are right there on the top. And everything is made for you. You said, how about angels? I will tell you, wait a minute. I'm not discussing here, we are better or the angels are better. But we want to discuss who is working for the other. Are you working for the angels or the angels are working for you? What do you believe, that there is someone here and one here? What they're doing?
Working for
What they're doing? The one on the right is writing, and then left. And they're working for you as your secretaries, right? For the good one or the bad, right? You work for them. Does God give you the responsibility to write the deeds of an angel? So who's working for the other? Who's carrying the dua from the earth and bring it up to Allah? The angels. Who's bringing back the answer of Allah to you? Mediators. Jibreel, alayhi salam, he brought the Quran from the Lawh al-Mahfuz from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and gave it to whom? Prophet Muhammad. So all the angels, Allah created them to glorify Him and to serve you and me. That's basically what they're doing. Every one of us got two of them. Subhanallah. So you are really on the top of the hierarchy of the creation of God. And Allah is picturing for you that you are the king in this universe. But don't forget that there is a more powerful king over you. Don't forget that. Because once you forget that fact, you will not be the king, you will be the slave. You will be the slave of everything. Do you know what is the natural result of missing God? Do you know what's the natural result of missing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala if someone missed Allah? If someone missed this one God, do you know what's the natural result? That everything will become God. That you will fear everything. That you will be confused of everything and you will be the slave of everything. Instead of you being the master and the king. See, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us Islam as an honor and said with this Islam you can rule the whole universe. And everything will be subjected to you. And you will be the master and everything will serve you. But don't forget that I am the master of masters. That I am the king of kings. Maliki. And in another riwayah, Maliki Yawmiddin. The king, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allahul Malik. Right? Al-Quddus, Al-Salam, Al-Mu'min, Al-Muhaymin, Al-Aziz, Al-Jabbar, Al-Mutakabbir. The king. The first word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, one of his first names is the king. So don't forget that there is someone who is more powerful than you. And I created you for a mission. To worship me. I give you 60 years. You live these 60 years. You do whatever. You worship me, I get you alive forever. We have a mission. Our problem, see, our problem that we forget why we are alive. And we keep on forgetting that, and that's the thing. I will give you an example. If someone goes for Hajj, and takes with him a camel, people before, or a car. They drive a car for Hajj, and he's going from Mecca to Arafat, from Arafat to Mina, from Mina to Muzdalifah, performing Hajj. If while he's performing Hajj, he starts to think about his car. Oh, I have to paint my car. My car must look beautiful. Oh, I have to change the tires of my car. There must be new tires. Oh, I must change the inside of my car. I must decorate my car. Someone will come to him and say, hey man, you didn't come here to decorate your car. Your car is a way of transportation. You came here to perform Hajj. Don't forget the remembrance of Allah. Don't forget to say labbaik Allahumma labbaik. Labbaik la sharika laka labbaik. Inna alhamda wa ni'mata laka wal mulk. Right? When you don't go for Hajj to decorate your car, you go for Hajj for Allah. To remember Allah. It's the same thing. Allah created us and gave us dunya as the way of transportation. And told us, I give you this way of transportation to remember me. What we did, we forget that. We forgot all of that and we went decorating our life. I want a good house, the best house. I must work hard. I want the best car, the recent model. I want it Lexus. I want it whatever, I want the best clothes. I want to do this. I want to have the best money. Hey, stop, forget it. Don't forget that you are created not for that. This is a way of transportation. You're getting busy in the things that Allah already guaranteed for you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Hadith al-Qudsi said, خَلَقْتُ الْكَوْنَ مِنْ أَجْلِكَ فَلَا تَتْعَبْ وَخَلَقْتُكَ مِنْ أَجْلِي فَلَا تَلْعَبْ. I've created the whole universe for you, don't worry. The whole universe for you. Rizq for you. The whole universe is for you. Don't worry. Don't be tired. When I created you, don't play. Don't fool around. Hadith Qudsi. Allah created the water for the dirt, and created the dirt for the plants, and created the plants for the animals, and created the animals for you, and created you for Him. You are created for Allah. Don't forget that. Now, when you connect yourself with Allah, and when you do what Allah wants you to do, you become a universal. You become a universal master. You become a controller. You become to do what Allah asks you to do. And what Allah asks you to do is the right thing. See, the problem is, this is a catalog. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us a catalog. When you go and buy a car, what happens? And they give you the key and they say, if you want any information, you go to the catalog, to the brochure, right? To the manual. You buy a radio, they give you a manual, a catalog. You buy a VCR, they give you a catalog. You buy a small thing, they give you a catalog. Where we got that idea of a catalog from? Do you know where we got it? From Allah. Because Allah created you and made with you a catalog. This is your manual. You forget this, you are in a total confusion. You get this, you open it, you know who you are. You know, most of the people, they live and die, and they didn't recognize who they are, why they are created for, what they are supposed to do. They live and die just like that, on the margin of the history, on the margin of life. They never get into the center of life. See, this is our catalog. You open and say, Bismillah, I have a problem. I have a problem with my parents. I have to open with the word parents. Parents. Then you find the solution. I have a problem with my health. Health. And you open with the word health. And you open it and you find it. Not only in that book, there's an explanation for that book. This is the other book, Sahih al-Bukhari. That's Sunnah. The sayings, the actions, and the deeds of the Prophet. What has that to do? These two things will organize your life. These two things will build the relation between you and God. The relation between you and yourself, and the relation between you and the others. With this, you will be a universal person. Without it, you won't be even a person by yourself. You will be a slave for something else. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala built our relation with this universe based on knowledge. What was the first revelation given to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Huh? Can I hear you? What was the first revelation given to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Read. طيب. Was it pray? Was it fast? Was it perform Hajj? Was it pay charity? What it was? Read in the name of thy Lord who created. Subhanallah. And when the angel told Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, read, what the Prophet said? I don't know what to read. And the angel told him to read again, right? To read in the name of what? Who's ready to read? Well, no one knows how to read here. We're in college. Come on. You want to read? You can read loudly, clearly. Okay, this is Isaiah chapter 30, 29, 11 to 12. Look at the story that happened with Prophet Muhammad. Read.
And the vision of all is become unto you as the words of the book that is sealed.
That the book is sealed. Now we agree that there is a book sealed with 7 seals on the back, and we agree what is that book. Now when the book is sealed, the book is given, but look what is it saying.
Which man delivered to one that is learned.
Okay.
Saying, read this, I pray thee.
Said, read this, I pray thee. And he said?
And he said, I cannot, for it is sealed.
For it is sealed.
And the book is delivered to him that is not learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he said, I am not learned.
It's in Isaiah 29, 11 to 12. And the book is delivered to him that is not learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he said, I can't, for I am not learned. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the first word revealed to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was read. Read in the name of thy Lord. Read what? Can you give me? Read what? Allah told Prophet Muhammad, read. Think with me. Read what? اقرأ بسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان من علق. Read in the name of thy Lord who created man from a clot. Read. And your Lord is the most generous, who created, who taught by the pen, and who taught man what he knows not. Read what? No answer. Read what? What is the command? See how much you need to learn about Islam. See how much you need to read. You just wanted a piece of cake. The speaker is coming, delivering for us about his speech. You have to have a basic. The first revelation given to Prophet Muhammad, the first word ever revealed from the Quran, it says read. I'm asking you to read what? What is the command? Read what? I'll make the job easy for you. Rasulullah ﷺ, before he received the revelation, what he used to do to stay? In the cave of Hira, right? Like, what he used to do there in the cave of Hira? Meditate. Meditate? More explanation. Give me an easier word. Right.
Observation.
Observation of what? Of the creation, right? Like, of the creation. You used to look to the stars in the night. You used to look to the sun in the day. You used to look to these mountains. Look to these trees. Look to the desert. Look to the heat in the day, the cold in the night, and he used to wonder. He used to wonder. He used to read. But the things never appeared to him as he wants it to appear. Is it possible that all of this huge creation is created by a stone, by an idol? It's not right. So the command came to him that read, but in a new way, in the name of thy Lord. That's the password. You need a password to open to the creation of God. See, that's what you need as a college people. You're learning, and I guarantee you that you're still ignorant. Why? Because you are reading in the name of the author. You are reading in your name. You are reading in the name of the college. You are reading in the name of the book. But Allah wants you to read in the name of thy Lord who created. اقرأ بسم ربك الذي خلق. It means anything that you see around you, any knowledge that you want to learn is created by Allah. So if you want to grow, to pass, and to get the real knowledge, you have to use the password. The password is to read the things in the name of Allah. That's how important to read the Quran every day. That's how important when you open your physics books, your chemistry books, your mathematics books, to say Bismillah. Because that's the best word. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will open your mind, and you will be genius. And you will discover new laws. Why? Because you are reading in the name of Allah. Who created mathematics? Who created physics? Who created medicine? Who created space? Who created you? Who created all of this? And you want to learn it, and you go to learn it, and you forget Allah who created it? What do you need? You need the password. And from this, what I want you to know, that Islam builds our relation with the universe on reading, on knowledge. There is no place for ignorance in Islam. There is no place for ignorant people. What we call the period before Islam? What Jahiliyyah means? So if you want to get out from ignorance to Islam, what do you need to change? The ignorance to knowledge. Knowledge of Allah. Knowledge, you always seek the help of Allah in whatever you read. What this give us? We got now a universal history. We got now a universal religion, theoretically. Our religion is universal. And we got now that all ends up that the Sahaba, the companions of the Prophet, when they saw that Islam is so universal religion, and when they saw that Islam is so wide, Deen, and they saw that they hold all of this light and all of this knowledge, they couldn't stay in Arabia. They couldn't handle it. They said, we have to go out, and we have to preach this, and we have to propagate this. It is haram that we have all of this light and all of this knowledge, and we will not tell the others about it. It is haram. We have to propagate it. We have to tell it. We are the messenger of the messenger. What do you say? La ilaha illallah? Muhammad Rasulullah. Did Muhammad died or he didn't? He died. He died. He's still alive in our hearts. But yet you see that he is the last messenger. But who is the messenger of the messenger? It's me and you. We are the messengers of the messenger. We're the messengers of Prophet Muhammad. If you don't become the messenger of the messenger, then you are not doing your job. So, when the Sahaba understood that, they went out for Syria, for Iran, they went to East Asia, Indonesia and Malaysia, they went to Africa, to Egypt, they went down to Yemen, they were exploring, they went to Europe, they explored the world, they discovered the world. هو الذي خلق لكم هو الذي جعل لكم الأرض ذلولا فامشوا في مناكبها وكلوا من رزقه وإليه النشور. He is the one who made the land easy for you, subjected the land for you. Walk in the air, walk the air, and proclaim the word of Allah. And don't forget that one day you will be judged. That's the concept. Islam wants you to go, get out, discover, explore the world, explore the religion of Allah, and work, propagate, talk your message. What you have is the truth. إنه لقول الفصل وما هو بالهزل. This is a serious world. This is a serious word, the word of Allah. It is not a joke. You have to get it seriously. Two things that you need: seriousness and sincerity. Seriousness, you have to be serious. You see, we are not serious. I bet you we are not serious. We're not serious about Islam. When it comes to Islam, it's on the end of the list. It's not on the top of the list. It's not on the top of our priorities. Your priority is to study, get your certificate, get a job, get the best house, get the best money. This is your priority. This is the circuit that you think of. Islam, you use it. It's very easy to use Islam, but it's very hard to serve it. We want to use Islam. Why you want Islam? Because Islam will save my children. Why you use Islam? Because Islam will make my wife obedient to me. Why you want Islam? Because my Islam will save my health. Oh, you are using Islam. And when it comes for your turn to serve Islam, no, I don't want. I don't interfere in politics. I don't interfere. I'm a very, very, very simple man. Please keep me away of these things. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. MashaAllah. You're using Islam. Islam doing you a favor. You don't drink wine. You have a healthy body. You don't eat pig. You have a healthy body. That's what you're doing. And you think that you're doing a favor for Allah. You're doing no favor for Allah yet. And no one can do a favor for Allah. You never can repay Allah. You cannot repay your parents. How about Allah? So what I'm saying is, propagating the word of Allah. What happened, that these Sahaba, they propagated Islam all over. So we got a geographical universality. Islam became everywhere. Do you know how Malaysia came into Islam? Two. Muhammad al-Khalil and Ja'd al-Adhami. Two businessmen, but they used to have a knowledge. They went to Malaysia and they were making business. They were very good traders. They brought very good spices. That's what they mean. Business at right time. The wives and the spices and the clothes. And they were very honest people. And the whole Malaysia, and after Malaysia, Brunei, after Brunei, Indonesia, this whole region of now about 300 to 400 million Muslims. Philippines, take it also. All of these people, no single Muslim soldier stepped there. No single Muslim soldier, fighter, stepped on the land of Malaysia. Never Islam was propagated by the sword. When it's time to use the sword, it's time to use the sword. As Jesus said, I didn't come to bring peace. Don't think that I came to bring peace, but I came to bring war. I came but the sword. I came to bring the sword. To whom he said that? To the evil people. Every prophet came to bring mercy for the believers and sword for the evil people. So, Islam propagated, and you find now Muslims from China. I swear to Allah. In Hajj, I get a family from China. The father is alim. Alim. Scholar, big scholar. He speaks Arabic, he reads Arabic. I learned from him in the days of Hajj. His son, 17 years old. He doesn't speak Arabic. He doesn't understand Arabic, but he reads Arabic. And he memorizes the whole Quran. I asked him, how did you memorize the Quran? He says, China is under the communist rules, and it's the worst days. He said, we used to memorize Quran from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the morning. From 1 o'clock in the night, to 4 o'clock. And the students used to come to my father. He used to study there. Now, someone translated that in between. His uncle, not his father. He translated that between him and him. See, people they spend their life learning Islam under the ground, in the night, and now you have the whole freedom to learn it in the middle of the day and to propagate it in the middle of the streets. Huh? So Islam is in China now, Islam is in Europe, and Islam is in America, Islam is in Africa, Islam is in Australia, Islam is everywhere. Islam is not for a group of people. It's not for Arabs. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for His own wisdom, we don't know why, He chose Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was an Arab, and He chose this language, and He revealed the book by this language. This is the wisdom of Allah. No one can question Allah why you did this or did that. This is the wisdom. And we are proud of Prophet Muhammad, and we are proud of the Quran. We have nothing. But this religion is not only for Arabs. One of them, one of the movements that appeared here in the United States. I went to the gas station. When I bought water and paid the gas. And the lady, she was like in her late 50s, polite, but very aggressive, very curious. She said, may I ask you a question? I said, what? She said, where are you from? You have an accent. And you look different. I said, yes, where I'm from. She said, Irish? Scottish? No. And where from? German? I said, nay. She said, I'm from Jerusalem. She said, oh, Jewish. No. Where are you? I said, I'm Palestinian. I'm from Hebron, originally my parents. Though I was born in Africa, my father used to work there, Libya, Magadi. I said, I moved there. She said, oh, what do you do? I said, I'm Imam. What is Imam? I said, it's like a priest. It's like a pastor, the one who... He said, oh, what? What's your religion? I said, Islam. She said, Islam. I'm not trying to look stupid, but can I ask you a question? I said, why? He said, I thought Islam is a religion for black people. I said, yes, Islam, you have the right to say that, because you are comparing with the nation of Islam that appeared in the late 50s and the 60s. She said, yes, Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X and these people, and now Louis Farrakhan. What do you have to do with Islam? You are white. You have blonde hair and white skin. What do you have to do with Islam? I said Islam is universal. There is over 1,300,000,000 Muslims all over the world. We make 1/5 of the population of Earth. Like the Chinese, they make 1/5. We make also 1/5, the second 1/5. And we're about to reach the number of Christianity. Even we came 2,000 years after that. We came 500-600 years after that. So, I want to read this for you. It's a person who used to be very famous in the nation of Islam. He used to think for a day that white man with a blue eyes, with blonde hair, is an evil, is devil. That Islam is for black people. And then he traveled overseas and he knew the truth. And from his biography, it says here, during the past 11 days, here in the Muslim world, I have eaten from the same plate, drunk from the same glass, and slept in the same bed, or in the same rug, while praying to the same God, with fellow Muslims, whose eyes were the bluest of the blue, whose hair were the blondest of the blonde, and whose skin was the whitest of the white. And in the words, and in the actions, and in the deeds of the white Muslims, I felt the same sincerity that I felt among the black African Muslims of Nigeria, Sudan, and Ghana. Malcolm X. This is the truth. يا أيها الناس إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم والله رحيم. O mankind, we created you from single pair, male and female, and we made you tribes and nations. Tribes and nations, so that ye may know each other. The best among you in the sight of God is the most righteous. Truly Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most wise, is the most expert. Allah knows. وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ سورة الروم وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ خَلْقُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَاخْتِلَافُ أَلْسِنَتِكُمْ وَأَلْوَانِكُمْ إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَاتٍ لِقَوْمٍ يَسْمَعُونَ. And it's among His signs, and it's among the miracles of God, the creation of the heavens and the earth, and the variation in your tongues, languages, and in your skin. But truly in that are signs
and listens for those who hear. Open your eyes to the truth. Open your ears to the truth. Believe in God and give Islam a chance in your life. God bless you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you very much. For this very comprehensive and wonderful lecture. If you have questions or if you have comments, please don't hesitate to ask. Also, we have some booklet brochures. If you like, you can visit, take a look at, and we can take those with you. Also, I would like to remind you the next lecture tomorrow will be about what Islam makes a difference. The brother Imam Alaeddin el-Bakri will be talking about his experience. He comes from a Catholic tradition, and he used to get education to become a priest, and he had a very interesting experience to embrace Islam. So don't hesitate to join us tomorrow, inshallah. On Thursday night, we have a joint meeting, joint dialogue session between Christians and Muslims. And the topic is the concept of Islam in the concept of God in Islam and Christianity. It will be on Thursday, 7:30 Oval Hall. And the last lecture of this series this year will be on mercy of God in Islam. And Brother Dr. John Sutherland will be our lecturer. Okay, if you have questions and comments, please.
Go ahead.
You said it's a mistake to translate the word Deen into religion. And then you continued in saying that religion is a relation. For us Muslims, you said it's a broader kind of relationship. But it's still a relation.
It's okay. I agree with you if you call it religions. Because religion is one relation. But we talked about three relations here. So if you translate, what I want to, you see, we have no choice but to translate Deen to religion. I know that. Because there is limited terminology in English. Truly. But of course, if you get in your mind, that's what I'm trying to get into the minds of the people, that when you say the religion of Islam, it means the complete way, the complete system, the settled system, the repeated habit of achieving peace through submission to God. If you translate the word religion of Islam to this big sentence in your mind, I'm fine.
See, the reason I'm saying this because in this society with religion,
Right.
You always have to bring these terminology.
Right.
God, and
Right.
religion.
Right.
And if you, for example, I notice many non-Muslims, they think that we have a different God.
Right.
Your God is Allah.
Right.
And they think he's a different God somehow.
Right.
I don't know what they have in mind.
Right.
And the same thing now, if I want to put a new terminology and try to convey to them, he is Allah, we lose that communication, the smooth communication. So I agree with you, we have to use the word God. In our minds as Muslims, Allah, can you explain to us maybe the difference, the meaning as for us? But I think we have managed.
I agree with you. See, there's no difference between me and you because when I even make my speech, I have to at the end to come and use the same word. I don't want you to lose the communication, but at the same time, I don't want you to lose your personality. See, in my debates, in my interface, the last time I was invited to, it was the Islamic Day of Ohio, and there were the governor of Ohio, the congressmen of Ohio, the senators of Ohio, the mayors of Ohio. It was a huge event. And I was very happy because Muslims reached to that level where they can invite all of these people. And I was the guest speaker, and the topic was Islam and today's world. I started my speech speaking about what Islam could offer today's world, and what is the relation to Islam to today's world. And I explained the same points to them, that what we mean by Islam as a word, what we mean by Islam as a religion, and when we translate Allah to God, what is that? And they all like it very much. And they all said, first time in our life we hear that. And they all understood it and will receive it. So I will not come to someone out of blue and speak to, for example, a non-Muslim and say, you know, Allah, 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 and he's saying, who's Allah? Are you talking about a human being? No. First, I have to use the word God, and I have no choice but to use it, and the word religion. But at the same time, I will give him my input, so that when he hears the word God and religion from me, he has a broader meaning. So being me and you, we agree together, yes, because this is their language. We can't just come and make our own words and say you have to understand. Definitely, we are limited by your English. Go ahead.
I agree with your brother, and also you, and I also would like to say that sometimes you just make the difference. To just say that God of the prophets, Abraham, Moses,
Exactly.
and make the differentiation that God is not Jesus.
Right.
If you have to.
Yeah, what I noticed that when you use the word Lord, with Christians, it always click in their mind Jesus.
Right.
When you use the word God, it comes to their mind God in the broader meaning, or the Father.
Yeah, well, in their group, when you talk to a Christian and they don't know about Islam, what you end up saying is that there are a lot of similarities, and the one central difference is the deity. So from there, you differentiate.
Well, actually, it's very critical, because the point that we agree with them, the point that brings us together, the point that brings Muslims and Christian or Islamic Christianity to have a very strong commonality is believing in Jesus. And the point that separates them is believing in Jesus also. So that's very critical, to talk about Jesus and to give them the impression that you're talking about a very righteous, well-respected prophet and messenger. Is the word of God, is the spirit of God from God, and he is a messenger miraculously from a mother without a father, but yet you treat him as a human being, you respect him as that, you love him as that, and you believe in him as God, and you love him and respect him that way. So the same point that we agree upon is the same point that we differ upon. So that makes it a little...
The other comment I had is that when you said that Islam is not a religion, it's more, and you used the word in Arabic, Deen, which you also described in English as a repeated habit. You may leave your audience to believe that it is a ritual. I know you probably meant much more than just a ritual.
Right.
And this is just a comment.
Right. I appreciate it. No one is perfect. So if you have any input, Jazakallah khair. It's the word, the lingual meaning is a repeated habit. But when you said al-Islam, Dina, then you are talking about a spiritual and ritual and wider meanings. Yeah, I agree with you. It's not only a habit. That's the worst thing when people get used on Islam and they take Islam as a culture. Islam is a tradition. And they pray 5 times a day, but they never concentrate in their prayers. They never go into the sense of prayers, so that prayers becomes a part of their life, not just only as a habit. But it's wider than that. It's a repeated habit that has a deep spirituality. Go ahead.
I think that your explanation of the repeated habit, I think that's important, because here, like Christians, they go to church on Sunday, that's their religion, but during the rest of the week they don't observe their religion. And Islam is a way of life, so everything we do has to be, we have to remember, well, we have to, it's part of our life. We can't do anything without being Muslim all the time. And then there's, other religions, they're not, their religion, they don't observe their religion all the time. It's just when they go to their church or whatever.
Or they say, we go to the church on Sunday, just to give you their answers, but in the rest of the week we have the consciousness of God. I say the consciousness of God in the heart of the human being must be always supported and recharged. That's why you recharge the consciousness of God in your heart 5 times a day. That's a big difference when you recharge your battery, of faith 5 times a day, and when you do it once a week. And Allah said, وَاذْكُرُوا اللَّهَ كَثِيرًا لَعَلَّكُمْ تُفْلِحُونَ. And remember Allah frequently so that ye may gain success. And the word success is very wide in this life and in the hereafter. I'll just give an example. One day I was invited to a church and to speak about God and how we should strengthen our relation. Why? Because in the student campus in Loyola University in Chicago, the building is all for Catholic, and the first floor there's a big masjid, Darus Salam they name it. And the Catholic, every Friday they see that it is a Friday. and it is not a day off. And yet all Muslim students come and pray Friday. So the Catholic students, they used to watch and said, wow, these guys are serious. They don't play. They come every Friday with this huge number. I mean, the place is enough for 30, 35, and 75 to 100 students come, and they pray in the street, and they have no problem. So they said, who teach you? We want someone who your leaders. They invited me. I have a good relation with them, and I have to deliver a speech saying, what is this? Why these students are very serious? What we have to learn from you guys? They invited us to learn from us how we develop this relation. I told them, well, look, I'm talking to you now in American concept, in American way. Though we don't believe in the boyfriend and a girlfriend, how about if you finally you find a girlfriend that you like and you think about marriage with her? And you said, okay, today we met each other Sunday, and she asked you, oh, we're going to meet each other. Tomorrow you're going to come and visit me? We're going to go out for a date? And you said, oh, tomorrow is Monday, the first day in the week, I'm very busy. And he said, okay, would you come Tuesday? Then we will find it's less busy. He said, oh, I have to travel, I have another business. And she's your girlfriend, you're looking marriage to become your fiancé. I said, well, how about meeting you on Wednesday? Oh, Wednesday, I have a meeting with my manager. Then how about Thursday? No, Thursday, I think I have to jog and take care of my health. Then how about, and when I'm going to meet you? I'm going to meet you next Sunday. Is this a person that you love? Do you love that girlfriend? Do you think that that girlfriend will stick with you? I said, you claim that you love God, and you want just only to meet God once a week, and then you claim that you love God. That's not enough. We meet our God 5 times a day. And we try always to rebuild the relation with Him. This from their own concept. Though we don't believe in an idea of girlfriend, boyfriend, it's only the one legal relation is marriage. Go ahead, brother.
We talked about the Quran, the Trinity, and guidance. Sometimes, a couple of days ago, there was some publication which has some extracts from the Quran and with some interpretations which make it sound like a horrible religion. What's your comment on that?
It makes Islam as a horrible religion.
I mean, they quote some verses and they build on interpretations which basically go against what we know about Islam.
This is what I call the half-truth. Half of the truth is exactly against the truth. When you have a statement of the truth, and you take half of it, and you say that is the truth, then it goes exactly against what... So the Quran is either take it all or leave it all. You don't pick one verse that could give you a negative impression or a negative feeling about Islam or about Quran, and then you leave the whole Quran. You know, the Quran is all... verses are all tied to each other. You can't take one verse and leave the other. And I always give this example from the Quran. وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَأَنْتُمْ سُكَارَى. In the beginning, the wine was not haram. Allah said, and don't come to the prayers, don't offer prayers, do not come even closer to the prayers while you are drunk. So, we pray 5 times a day. So the Sahaba used to not to drink the whole day, and in the night, they are tired. So Allah took the habit of drinking slowly from them, and then it became forbidden, and everyone stopped drinking. So I said, how about if you come and say, in the Quran Allah says, وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا الصَّلَاةَ, and don't come to the prayers, and you put a period there. Then say, Allah says, that don't go to prayers. I don't want to pray 5 times a day. Right? فَوَيْلٌ لِلْمُصَلِّينَ أَرَأَيْتَ الَّذِي يُكَذِّبُ بِالدِّينِ فَذَلِكَ الَّذِي يَدُعُّ الْيَتِيمَ وَلَا يَحُضُّ عَلَى طَعَامِ الْمِسْكِينِ فَوَيْلٌ لِلْمُصَلِّينَ الَّذِينَ هُمْ عَنْ صَلَاتِهِمْ سَاهُونَ. Woe to those who pray, those who does not observe their prayers, they don't maintain it. They pray once and they leave 10. So Allah said, woe to those who pray. So one verse in the Quran said, don't pray, and the other said, woe to those who pray. So you will not pray anymore. See, that's half of the truth. It goes against the truth. Jesus said in the Bible, which I believe that it is maybe one of the truths, saying, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. No one can go to the Father but by me. Yes, each prophet is the way, the truth, and the life. Our Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is the way. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, uswa hasana, the truth. Allah brought with him the truth, al-haq, and the life. You live the life of the Prophet, you live. You don't live the life of the Prophet, maybe you are dead, even if you are alive. No one can go to the Father but by me. Now take this, no one go to the Father, which is Allah, Rabb, and they translate Rabb, instead of translating Rabb to Allah, or to a Lord of God, they translate Rabb to what? To Father. That's the mistranslation. If it's Christians, they will understand that Rabb from it Rabbi. And in the Quran, Ribbiyun. It means godly people. So if they would translate the word Rabb to God, you won't find the name Father. So no one can go to God except by me. No one can go to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. No one can go and worship Allah without the Sunnah of the Prophet. We worship Allah and we follow the Prophet. The Prophet is the way to worship Allah. He told us. So if you say no one can go to the Father, period. It means Jesus is claiming to his Christianity, no one can worship God. Forget it. So half of the truth does not mean the truth. So quoting some verses from the Quran and saying this is the Quran, say wait a minute. Either take it all or leave it all. Don't play with it. That's my point. But, by the way, we are going late, and anyone could feel free to leave, because I think, inshallah, it's another 5 minutes up to 9 o'clock. Inshallah.
You have all
Because
up to 10:30.
yeah, but I have to go back home. It's another an hour and a half. Okay, I took him and I will get to you, inshallah. Just 1 second.
God created all human beings to worship. Now, I was wondering, could you explain a little what worship means, particularly with regards to universality?
Wonderful question. I love that question. Very
it's
good.
just prayers and,
Good question. Good question. Good question. Now, the purpose of your life is to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? That's what Allah says. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ Surah Al-Dhariyat and verse 56. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ I've never created jinn and insan except to worship me. What is the meaning of worship? We come back to the repeated habit. It's not only to worship Allah when you pray 5 times a day. It's your whole life, your 24 hours is worship. You see, Rasulullah ﷺ is teaching us that you pray Isha in Jama'ah, and before you sleep, you say, Bismillah, Bismika Allahumma ad'u jambi wa bika arfa', you make the adhkar before you sleep. And when you wake to Fajr with Jama'ah, and you say, when you wake up, you say, Alhamdulillah, alladhi ahyana ba'da idha matana wa ilayhi nushur, Allah will count the period that you slept there as Qiyamul Layl, as if you were worshipping Him all of these times. So you sleep, yet you get the reward. So that's the beauty of Islam. Islam wants to make it easy for you. ما جعل عليكم في الدين من حرج. Allah doesn't want to place difficulty in the religion for you. Now, I have a simple question. Allah said, I created you to worship me. A question. Does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala need our worship? He doesn't need our worship. If you pray 5 times a day, all you do is, would you hurt Allah? You will not hurt Allah. Allah is the creator. We hurt ourselves. Right? What is when you look? Because you see, if you get just only that verse is direct. Otherwise, Allah created us for 4 purposes. And this is a whole lecture about the purpose of life. The first purpose is to worship Allah, which we call it ibadah. The second purpose is to be the trust agents of Allah, the representatives of Allah on this earth, meaning to apply His law on the earth. This is called khilafah. وَإِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ إِنِّي جَاعِلٌ إِيش فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً. And remember when your Lord said to the angels, I'm going to place a khalifa on the earth. And you know what the meaning of the word of khalifa, caliph, right? And the third purpose that we have in this life is amana. إِنَّا عَرَضْنَا الْأَمَانَةَ عَلَى السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَالْجِبَالِ فَأَبَيْنَ أَنْ يَحْمِلْنَا وَحَمَلَهَا الْإِنسَانُ وَأَشْفَقْنَا مِنْهَا وَحَمَلَهَا الْإِنسَانُ إِنَّهُ كَانَ ظَلُومًا جَهُولًا. Allah offered the responsibility, the amana, for the skies, for the air, for the mountains, the refuse. Allah offered it to Adam, Adam accepted it. Do you know what is the amana? Amana is if you do something right, you are rewarded, and if you do something wrong, you will be punished. That's the amana. It is to be responsible. That's another purpose of your creation. Because if you are a responsible person, then you could benefit the others and benefit yourself. Then responsibility will guide you to fulfill khilafah and ibadah. But if you don't feel responsible, you will not worship Allah. Because you don't believe in punishment and reward, right? If you don't feel responsible, you will not be the trust agent of Allah. And number 4 is imara. You know what's imara? Imara in Arabic means what? In Urdu means what? Construction? Building. So imara means what? Means building. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to build. You see? الَّذِينَ إِن مَكَّنَّاهُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ أَقَامُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَآتَوُا الزَّكَاةَ. See? that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when you worship Him and you become Khalifa and you get the responsibility, now you have a mission to make Imara. Most of us, we don't talk about Imara. Imara is what you see. Allah wants you to make the life easy for the others. Make roads, make buildings, make cars, make the life easy. This is Imara, that's why Allah created you. That's why Umar ibn Khattab said, I swear by Allah, that if there is a camel or if there is a sheep that will fall because of the way it was not made easy for it, Allah will ask me at the day of judgment, Ya Umar, why you didn't make a road for the sheep? You see how responsible he is Umar? That he wants to make even roads for animals, not for human beings. So that's the thing that we need to know. So the purpose is many purposes, not only one. But Allah wants you to know that you will never get any of the four if you don't fulfill the first. If you have no relation with God, you will fulfill nothing. You will do nothing. That's why we say in Arabic, the one who fears Allah, don't fear him. The one who fears Allah, don't fear him. Because the one who fears God will not hurt you. The one who fears God will help you. The one who fears God will support you. And that's why Khadija told the Prophet, you Prophet, you used to help the poor. You used to support those who need the support. You used to give charity to them. Now Allah will leave you, you are a messenger. That's what she told him when he received Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. And he came back to the house and said, warm me up. And Allah revealed to him, Ya ayyuhal muddathir, Ya ayyuhal muzammil. That is the purpose. The best kind of worship that you offer other than the salah, siyam, zakat, is for yourself, is to live with each other, to support each other, to help each other. That's why the Prophet said that Allah is with you as long as you are with your Muslim brother or sister. As long as you are supporting them, Allah is supporting you. الخلق عيال الله فأحب عياله إليه أنفعهم إلى خلقه. That the creation, those people are like the children of Allah. The best among the children of Allah is the one who's kind, who's nice to the rest of the children. See? That's the best offer, the best service, the best worship that we can give is to benefit the whole universe. Allah doesn't want us to destroy, to damage. وَلَا تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ بَعْدَ إِصْلَاحِهَا. Do not destroy the earth and make mischief after Allah has made it beautiful. See what Allah made for us. Beautiful jungles, beautiful forests, rivers, oceans, trees, mountains. Allah decorated this creation. I want you to notice one thing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could have created this creation in a very plain way. Allah will give you a piece of land, like a desert, and will go and live. But Allah made this land decorated. Mountains, trees, sun, moon, stars, decoration. It's all decoration. It's like to come to a house and to leave it like that, plain, or to decorate your house. Is it the same? No, it's not. So Allah decorated the land, made the land beautiful. Allah wants you to, at least, do not destroy that. At least, make that beautiful or more. Huh? What we do, we go and make war, nuclear weapon, chemical weapon, atomic bomb, and we destroy the creation of God. That's what we are doing, basically. Instead of maintaining. Allah didn't ask us to maintain His creation. See, I can talk forever, that's the problem. Go ahead. How about if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us the responsibility to irrigate the plants? That there would be no rain. All what we have to do is we have to irrigate these plants all over the world. You will be very busy. How about if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks you to give the food to the fish in the sea? Are you bothered now with the fish in the sea? You don't even think about it. But when you go to the restaurant, you ask for fish. Feed it, right? You don't feed it. You like to eat honey, but you are not bothered with the food of the bees. You're not bothered with the food of the ants. How about if Allah will ask us to provide the food for all of them? See, Allah took care of all of that and made it a complete system and told you, do not destroy it. At least, do not break the system. Just maintain it. Just leave it as is and fulfill the purpose of your creation. Once you fulfill it, you will go into harmony. You see, the harmony with the creation of Allah, you will always be in harmony with the creation of Allah. That's the kind of service and worship. 24 hours. It's not only prayers. That has a wider meaning. Allah doesn't need your prayer. Allah needs your worship. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows that it's for you to pray and to fast. It's to maintain yourself. That's what you do to the others. That's why at the day of judgment, Allah says, if you bring mountains of sins against me, and you come to me and you ask my forgiveness, I will forgive it to you. But if you have done sins against your Muslim, against your human being follows, I will not even interfere. Let you judge each other. That's why the people, they don't understand that. The hardest thing in the day of judgment is what you have done to the other human beings. If you come at the day of judgment saying, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, you don't associate partners with Allah, you have mountains of sin, Allah will bring you mountains of forgiveness. But if you have hurt the other human beings, you are really in trouble. Because no one will relieve one hasana for you. They will all ask. And you know what? If you don't worship Allah as He asked you, you will get over the rights of the others. So it's all connected with each other. You don't have a relation with Allah, you don't have a relation with the people. You have a good relation with Allah, you have a good relation with the people, and your judgment at the day of judgment will be easy. You don't have a relation with Allah, you don't have a relation with the people, and your judgment at the day of judgment will be hard. It's all connected to each other. So you cannot escape one and go to the other. Your question, brother?
I think it is Allah is not, if I say God, Allah is not fully explained.
Right.
Because these three words, three letters is Aleph, Lam, Aleph is one. Lahu for him. So, but in the Muslim world, many scholars now use God. God is in it. And if you use God, then God has no meaning. If you take Deen, that code is not no meaning, and any other language in this world. But except Allah, Arabic word, can't explain enough or creator. But it is creating confusion among these small children. One sick child in London told me that my God is in you, and your God is in you. But that is why there is confusion in many people, in many that say, if they say God, Muslim also say God, Christian also said God, then it created confusion. So I request him, use Allah.
And to explain what is the meaning of the word
Allah. Two things. One time God, one time Allah.
Okay, I agree with you on this point. After we explain the word God to the people and say Allah is God, and we are proud of the name Allah. We have nothing to hide, you know. That's why I said don't lose your personality. But I didn't understand because Allah has 4 letters. Alif, Lam, Lam, Ha. It's not 3 letters. Alif, Lam, Lam, Ha. This is Allah. Ilah. Alif, Lam, Ha. Right? Oh, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ilah, many people could use the word Ilah. You see, Ilah, it means the idea of God. But Allah is the personal name of God. It's the personal name of Allah. And by the way, if you want to go deeper and deeper, the word Allah is an Arabic word. And there is no language on the surface of the earth or in the creation of God that can describe God himself. That's why in the dua of the Prophet, Rasulullah said, I invoke you, I ask you, by all of your names, any name that you explain for us, or any name that you taught us one of your righteous people, or any name that you mentioned in any of your books, or any name that we don't know. There are many names for God that we don't know. Why? Because our brains cannot even understand it. The word Allah, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, these are all Arabic words. And Allah is using the language as a way of communication between us and Him. But the whole language is created. And the whole language, there is no language can describe Allah. No language can describe this great creator of the universe. So even the language, with the Arabic language, with its best beauty, and with its richness, yet it cannot explain the real concept of God. Because Allah is beyond language. Allah is bigger than a language. There's no language can describe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the best language that Allah chose was the Quran, was the Arabic language. It could explain the most, but not 100%. But that's a more deeper and deeper. I don't advise going into that. Inshallah. Is there any question? No question. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.